Hopefully this is correct. Sorry about that, everybody. Technical problems. Me being an absolute tool and not knowing how to work YouTube very well and this software. So yeah, starting the whole out with the whole live streams and failing at the get-go. So yeah, please ignore the last one. Hopefully this is correct. Right, so the new end scene possibilities. Now, we all know a lot of people have talked about a lot of different things in regards to this end scene. Is it the same clip we've seen in the trailer? What are they going to be moving out like? Because what they've said is it's going to start a new era. Now, a lot has happened in the Transformers world since we've had the Transformers the movie. So a lot has changed. A lot has changed. So it'll be interesting to see what they are. Some of the rumours are, as you can see on screen, Season 1 will remain intact. Season 2 will remain intact. Obviously, Transformers the movie will remain intact. And their Japanese counterparts. Leaving Season 3 gone. The Japanese Headmaster series gone. That's this one. This is the US one. Scramble City episode gone. This will be Master Force, Victory and Zone. All gone from Transformers continuity. So, an interesting one there. Oh, it's YouTube moaning at me now. Sorry about this. They're telling me there's not enough something or other, but I think it's running fine. There's no problems. What are they talking about? Shut up. So, yes, the possibilities for the end credit scene. Now, I'm going to try and find up some of the older scripts as well. Even the one that the Jim Sorensen and Chris McFeely, or Farley, whatever his name is, that dude, put out. And they did the first draft of the script when they did their read-through at TF Nation in 2022. Which obviously had a few characters that were not in the finished movie. Excuse me. That was not going to disappear. That cough was absolutely determined to be there. So, the end credit scene. What possibilities could it have? And what ramifications is it going to have when it comes to the Transformers? Now, we've had a lot of MacGuffins since Transformers the movie. The first one being the Matrix. Then we had All Sparks. Then we had Dead Matrixes. Then we had this Matrix, that Matrix. Minicons. Super Energon. Cyber Keys. Now, we've had a lot of stuff introduced within Transformers lore. And that doesn't leave the original interpretation of the Transformers out of it. Because they could easily apply some of this new lore that they've established within Transformers and add it to this end scene. Like, the end scene could literally be 3 seconds. 3 seconds. We're all paying to go to the cinema to watch 3 seconds of something that we've already had. Like, the original UK film already said Optimus Prime will be returning. So we already knew that. So if they're just going to do that at the end of the film, it just seems a bit mute. Because we already had the episode where he came back, Dark Awakening, and after that we had the Return of Optimus Prime. So it just seems a bit odd if that is going to be the scene. So what I'm going to try and do is extract things that it could be. Nothing set in stone until the movie is dropped, until we've all decided to watch the movie. We do not know what will entail in Transformers the movie re-release. And this end credit scene, is it a full 10 minutes? Is it 3 seconds? We don't know. Is it a whole different animation? Or are they going to stay true to the rest of the movie? I kind of hope they stay true to the rest of the movie. Because nobody really wants to be watching a whole different set of animation. At the end, you'll be like, well, it just looks like a different movie. Now, I get you can't get all the same guys back to start redrawing it again. But hopefully the skills are still there. There's still plenty of anime movies out there of good, high quality. Some extremely poor. So it'd be nice with mechs and stuff. So it'd be nice to see Transformers get that. And then we had, because obviously we have seen some of that recently anyway, with that, was it that Planet 8 Bape thing that they did, the whole animation stream thing. Actually, I've got that here. Here it is. Let's see if we can get that up there. So hold a minute. So I'm still learning. This thing here. this old Bape Ape jobby, and I was going to use this later on, like to show the memorable deaths that we've seen in Transformers across. And this whole Bape Ape thing is like a convergence of everything Transformers. It was the 40th anniversary video from memory, which makes sense of the whole Transformers franchise. This being the 40th anniversary of the movie 3 years later. So it's interesting to sort of see if these guys are doing this end clip scene, because the animation used in this was brilliant, and if this whole animation doohickey was something that they were going to be putting together anyway. So it's interesting to sort of think that and go, I wonder if this is something that they're going to be pushing and going forward that way.
Sorry about this whole animation.
Sorry, I'm going back to my own stream here. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Oh, shush. Me, shush. So yeah, so I am working. So we're going to look at some of the possibilities, some of the things that I've sort of thought of in my head. Like they might even go back to some of the original ideas from the original scripts that they didn't animate, they didn't use. That might be the end of the film, because we don't go back to Earth in the movie. They leave Earth, and that's it. So we don't really know what happens to Blaster and the survivors of Autobot City. You assume from watching season 3 that things happen. But if season 3 is no longer going to be a thing, then what are the possibilities after Transformers the movie with this new end credit scene? Let's just get this up. So far, what do we know? What do we know in regards to Transformers the movie? These are the characters that would appear before the movie and in the movie. And we know the guys with the red sort of they're the ones that die in the movie. And the blue are those that died in the storyboards. Will they stay true to the storyboards? Will that be things that they put in the end credit scene? Will it be those storyboards? Like we genuinely don't know. All we do know is it's to start a new generation or something. That's like the tagline they've used in regards to this. So I'm going to actually try and look that up to see if I can find that. Oh, we don't want that horrible nonsense on there, do you? That loser in New York. But yeah, so what are the possibilities for Transformers the movie and this end credit scene? And then we've got the Decepticons as well. Again, the yellow to indicate that they were rebuilt into somebody else. Red, they died in the movie. Blue, they died in the storyboards. I have added the other Seekers in there because now that they've been sort of canonized as separate characters, again, these characters could be in that end credit scene. They could be doing something a whole lot different that we just don't know about for this movie. And what I'd love to see, I would love to see Buzzsaw and Reflector get some love as well. So Transformers Apology Tour. So I'm going to try and find this, look this up, to see what this tagline is that they keep saying. Yep, they keep saying Apology Tour, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. That's fine and dandy. That's dandy and fine. So Transformers the Apology Tour. Let's get rid of that one. Try and find out what do they say. So I'm on the wiki now. Trying to find it. If it loads. Come on, you bleeder. Oh, what's that slow as hell? Let's go over some of the ideas. So, the little clip we saw in the trailer. Is that the end credit scene? Highly probable that it is. And we've already seen it. So we're spending money to see something we've already seen. And there might be something a little bit after that. Why Optimus Prime is floating in space, we don't know. But when it comes to this apology tour, and it's always Optimus Prime died, all the kids cried. Prime died, kids cried. Yeah, we get it. We get it. But it's more than just Optimus Prime. It is so much more than Optimus Prime in this movie, if you ask me. Because some of the things I didn't like from the movie, as an adult, I'm okay with it now, kind of. They took out all these characters. They removed all these characters within the movie, and others they were just discarded, like Reflector, Now, I'm a big Reflector fan, so it irks me some. I love that character. Such an underused character, underappreciated. And the new comic hasn't done anything good for him either. So, will there be more to do with these characters after Transformers the movie? Now, you're probably wondering, hey, dude, Skywarps and Thundercracker and Insecticons, they don't technically die. They are turned into other people. Now, I'll get to that in a little bit later, because there's more to that. And there has been precedent to what I'm going to go on and bang on about in a minute in regards to, predominantly Megatron, the Galvatron Megatron situation. Now, if you watched what I'm going to go to, then you'll understand. So it's these characters, this swathe of characters, which were either taken out, completely destroyed in the movie, dead, or they were turned into other characters, which I personally don't love. So will we see these guys again in this end credit scene, or will these guys still exist going forward? Now, I think they're doing this Transformers movie. I think they're going to try and do a sequel. You heard me. I think they're going to try and do a sequel to this movie. I think it's been on the cards for a long time, and they're thinking this is it. This is the time to do it. But they have to make changes, which means we have to lose this part of the Transformers. Well, not lose. You just get a separate timeline. You just get a new timeline thread. And with the whole multiverse thing being out there, Marvel in particular being the biggest culprit for doing this, Transformers is not going to survive it either. I don't love the whole multiverse thing, but if it happens, it happens. And it's by the by, and it's just going to be one of those things, right? So it's possibility we're going to have this removed from a canon. It can still remain let's still call it the prime canon, and then we'll have a second canon with this follow-on of the Transformers the movie. So Prime, floating in space, fingers twitch. All these guys are still, these guys should also be a part of that apology tour. It's not just about Optimus Prime, these guys as well. Now, a few spoilers on the page. The first and the most liked one, and the obvious one, because it is linked to Season 3. If they're keeping Season 3 and the continuations, whether it be American continuity or Japanese continuity. The Quintessons. They are known. We've already had precedent of them. They rebuilt and re-energized and gave Optimus Prime new life. So the Quintessons have that ability in canon, within the source, admittedly, from Season 3. That could all change. Even the whole Quintesson background thing, that was all Season 3. So if Season 3 is being written out, then the Quintessons could be changed as well. But if they do keep elements of their abilities from Season 3, we might get something like this if the Apology Tour does include these characters. And particularly the Autobots, if they go along with the whole mausoleum thing in space, which I thought was weird anyway in the cartoon. And in that cartoon, the Quintessons rebuild Optimus Prime because the Autobots ask him to. Now going forward, how do you bring back Optimus Prime? Do you give him some kind of story arc? Do you put him through some kind of process to get from A to B, or get to A to C, and we'll see what the story in the middle will be in the B? Do the Quintessons, because they got their asses handed to them, their army is absolutely against them, the Sharkticons, there could be more ramifications following Transformers the movie. So what do? They send a few scouts out to the universe, and they're the ones that, whilst the Autobots are trying to rebuild and sort out Cybertron after the events of the movie, assuming that there's no time shenanigans going on. Again, that's one of the other possibilities. Well, yeah, the Season 3 can still be canon. I'm not saying it won't be canon. It will be its own canon. This is the thing with the bloody multiverse thing, is that all these companies get all these great ideas. Oh yeah, let's do this timeline. Let's do this time. Let's take away this. Let's start that. Like many seasons have done it. What's the most recent one? Scrubs. They scrubbed out Season 9. So there's no more original Season 9. They redid it. So the new series is the new Season 9. So there is precedent with it on telly and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with you. It might not lead to anything. It could be an absolute nothing burger. I could totally agree with you, Gotham Knight. And I'm not saying, hey, yeah, let's do it. These are just sort of your speculation and talk about it. Well, what the hell are they going to do? I don't think Transformers the movie needs it. I honestly don't think it needs it. I think if they're going to redo or sort of do Transformers the movie, just redo the film. Redo the film as it was truly intended. Add in some of those deleted scenes. I would say sort of change up some of them. The whole Ultra Magnus bit after Optimus Prime lands and starts his drive through and ripping apart the Decepticons, and then placing it randomly just before him and Megatron fight. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The whole riff wouldn't work. So that scene would have to happen earlier, but have a slightly different ending where the Constructicons aren't dismantled. They could continue the Constructicon fight with the Dinobots. Like Slag doesn't get taken out. He just walks off. Like, fair enough, Grimrock's been knocked out. Sludge has been knocked out. If they're going to redo the movie, you can put Snarl back in there. You don't have to change too much of it. I'm not saying they should redo the movie, but if they do choose to, then that's a possibility, right? So will they then take the Quintessons and all their abilities and then create a whole Nemesis version? So this is toys, right? This is toys. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Now, I'm not being horrible and negative about these toy companies. They're a business. This is how they make their money, right? Toys. Will they make the Quintessons, rebuild Optimus Prime, give a whole another Nemesis Prime story arc? Yeah, there's about 50 Nemesis Prime story arcs, but they do Nemesis versions of everybody that died. If they're all together in this mausoleum thing or whatever, are we going to get villainous versions of all the dead Autobot characters? They've already brought back Optimus Prime once, according to their own lore, according to their own canon. So it's not outside the realm of possibilities to them all have a villainous arc and they're all heroes again. Let's face it, it's kids, it's toys. It's nothing massively like dramatic in regards to Transformers. Yes, there's more than meets the eye of Transformers, but they're a company, they want to try and expand it, try and do things. And you're thinking, hey, let's just make black versions of these characters and sell them. Now, other possibilities, if the end credit scene, if it's a nothing burger, like Gotham Knight said, and I don't disagree with you, mate. I think it could very well be a nothing burger, but just trying to have a little bit more fun to see what the speculations could be. The Quintessons one is the favourite because that's the one that stays true to season 3, keep season 3 intact. If they want to keep it intact, if they're going down that route, like I said, there has been precedent in TV to remove seasons or to have them sort of replaced, let's say, and Scrubs being one of them. Didn't they do the same with Dragon Ball? Now, I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball whatsoever. Can't stand that shit. But I'm not insulting it. I just do not like it. I do not like it. But didn't they do the same thing with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and all that and GT? Isn't one of them one storyline, the other one's another storyline? If I'm wrong, correct me. Again, I'm not a fan of it, so I don't know. Like, now they've introduced other MacGuffins in Transformers lore. Will the whole end credit scene be something to do with the rest of the primes? Like, sometimes in some continuities, the 13th prime is in fact Optimus Prime or Rodimus Prime, or is somebody completely different? Will their involvement be put in there? Like, I'm not outside the realm that they're going to start changing up stuff from the original Transformers. It's their product. They can do what they want with it. Whether I like it or not, they still could. So could we be seeing something in regards to the primes being changed? Or, again, using the robot ape thing, Vector Prime. Again, he is one of the primes. Now, this could just be something that he's done, and because of his messing with time or whatever during the events of the Cybertron universe, will that affect this one? Will this convergence all come together and now affect the ending result of Transformers the movie and all those shenanigans? Again, there's more sort of magical, I say swords and sorcery, but all that kind of mystical stuff it wasn't not there originally, but a lot of it has been included now in Transformers covering the last 40 years. some weird and wonderful episodes in season 2 and season 3. So yeah, could it be a time and space thing with Vector Prime? And obviously with Transformers across Generation 1 and the expanded Generation 1 with Beast Wars, Beast Wars 2, Beast Wars Neo, if you want to include Japanese continuity. I happen to like Japanese continuity. I don't love everything that they do, but I do like a lot of it. So again, time travel isn't necessarily a thing that they have not been afraid of in Transformers. Season 2, the Dragon Mound. Season 2, the Chronosphere. And then we got Season 3 with the Time Window. And Season 3 with the Room with the Quintesson inscriptions. Again, these two could be absolutely nothing if they're getting rid of Season 3 and the rest of it as a possibility. And then later on, the Teleport Gate in the Beast Wars 2 movie, which brought Optimus Primal from the Beast Wars into Beast Wars 2, and then randomly some other character, Majin Zarek, not the Megatron, would have preferred it if they just did Megatron and just had a whole like Megatron, Optimus Primal fighting Leo Convoy and that Galvatron, but they didn't do it. They didn't go down that route. They didn't go down that route, did they? Of course they didn't. So yeah, time travel, again, not something that they haven't been afraid to use in the Transformers. Now, I'm not a fan of it. If they do it, I wouldn't be a fan of it. But if they want to bring back characters in a different way or do this whole new generation, this whole new continuation thing with Transformers, then it's kind of like, well, what is it they're going to be doing? Like, what plans do they have? Now, I'm trying to find that information in regards to the apology tour, because I know I've seen it. I know I've seen it. Redemption rollout. I didn't win that. Actually, anybody else from the UK? Did anybody else win the Smith's Toys competition? There's only 40 people could win. Did anybody else win it? Yeah, I can't see it. Special campaign. Polish Optimus Prime. Yeah, no. It's the traumatization of Optimus Prime. It's not just about him. It's about these guys as well. I want to see these guys back. If you're going to do it, bring them back. Like, don't just bring back Prime. We want to see the rest of the characters as well. Especially old Prowl, considering his face was one that they modelled after the Autobot logo. Or are they going to go down a whole Beast Wars thing? Is it going to be Optimus Primal in this end credit scene doing more Beast Wars transwarp tunneling? Like, will Beast Machine still be a thing? So again, a lot of people don't love it. But there we go. Or will they do some of that? Will there be some more timey-wimey stuff in regards to the Beast Wars characters? And they're the ones that bring back Optimus Prime this time round. Again, like time travel, time windows and all that. They're all things in Transformers lore. So it's not anything that's not a possibility. Again, you don't have to like it. I'm not saying, yeah, let's go for it. But just talking any of these possibilities that could affect this end credit scene. If it isn't a nothing burger. If it's a nothing burger, then fine. We'll just watch it. The new ending will just be a segue into season 3 episode Dark Awakening, much like Avengers Endgame doing it. Yeah, possible. Highly possible. Yeah, that's right. Because isn't it with Avengers Endgame that they are essentially pressing the reset button and going, Endgame, now Doomsday. Isn't that what they're doing? Like, again, I've not watched. I've not actually seen Avengers Endgame. To me, it ended with Infinity War. Thanos wins. End of Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was a bad ending. I've just not watched. I've not watched any new stuff, so I generally don't know. So that's fine. Yeah, you're right. It could just literally be a segue from Bosch into season 3 Dark Awakening. Now, with that, Bill, K3S4U, do you think that they will go down the whole route of the Quintessons, recovering everybody, and then building an army of Nemesis Prowl and Nemesis Ratchet and Nemesis this and Nemesis that? Because everybody now has to have an evil black dark version according to the Transformers, which gets kind of frustrating in my opinion. But what do you think? What do you think? Is that a possibility? They stick, like you said, stick with the Quintesson thing. They're the ones that like, got them converging onto the mausoleum anyway, tricking the Decepticons. Is that right? Am I right in thinking that the Decepticons were tricked into battling at that point in order to destroy the mausoleum? Oh, do you know what? I have to rewatch Dark Awakening to sort of figure out that side of it. Maybe I should have watched it before I did this, but I just had an idea. I thought I'm going to come on and start talking about it, see what people say. So yeah, it could very well be that. Literally a boring nothing burger segue into an episode we've already seen to a result we've already had. Like to say, oh, Optimus Prime didn't die. Well, we know he didn't. Well, he did die, but he comes back anyway. He always comes back. So the fact that they're saying, oh, we apologise, we bring back Optimus Prime, like, well, you already did that. You did that 40 years ago. This nothing new, absolutely nothing new. And if you've seen like Bill, have you seen the UK version? I think it's the UK VHS version of the movie with the Star Wars scroll and the bit at the end of the film where it says, "And the best Autobot Optimus Prime will return." Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I honestly think it'll be very boring, and it'll be something that us, the fans, the old boy fans, we've already seen before. We've already seen everything. We already know everything. I just don't think it's necessary. I genuinely don't think it's necessary. And like I said, have you seen the UK VHS version ending of the film where it says the greatest transformer of them all, Optimus Prime, will return? So they already answered that question 40 years ago when they did the UK release of the movie to say Optimus Prime will return. And then, funnily enough, in Dark Awakening, he did. And then in the Return of Optimus Prime, well, he returns, right? If it's something as boring, like so boring, like a 3-second scene of that, is it worth going to cinema to go and watch it? Like literally, like, to be fair, it's going to be a fiver. It's £5 to go and watch it at the closest cinema for me to go and watch. So it's literally a drop. It's nothing. A drop in the ocean. I've also got a birthday voucher for the Odeon anyway, so it'll be free for me to go and watch it. So I'm not that fussed whether to or not. I probably will, but for the sake of 3 seconds at the end of a film, that might kind of tick me off a little bit. If it's literally something as boring as the Quintessons come back, the Quintessons bring him back to life. The end. Oh, nice. Yes, that's a good version, isn't it? Yeah. I like that. I got the Blu-ray version of Transformers movie. I've also got the. I'm grabbing it now, not that you can see, but that you can hear that. That's the original UK release of the DVD, where they first put the word shit back in the movie. Can you believe it? So this is the version I grew up with, the UK version with the Star Wars scroll and the bit at the end of the movie, which already is the apology 40 years ago. 40 years ago they did this. I just don't. It's a marketing campaign, and to be fair, it's working. We're talking about it. Brilliant. Ah dear. So yeah, the Quintessons, the Primes, just Vector Prime, time traveling nonsense. Yeah. The Beast Wars characters, could they be a part of it? It is all Generation 1, or just Transformers if you ask me. There is no Generation 1, it's just Transformers. Again, a segue from the Beast Wars. The characters that are not evolved from Decepticons and Autobots, the Tripredacus Council and what's his name? The spider dude. Tarantulas. Now I hate, don't give me this. I hate the Unicron connection with these guys. It was an off-the-cuff remark Megatron makes, and then all the idiots are got to go, oh, he's Unicron. Like, how would Megatron know that? Stupid. So these guys, there could be something a little bit more interesting with the Tripredacus Council. Could they be anything to do with it? Would they really want to go? So a lot of this is going sort of deep lore. A lot of people didn't like Beast Wars. The old school boys, they're not going to care. Will they bother with it? Who knows? Again, I'm just spiraling ideas out there. No, me neither. I didn't enjoy. What the hell was it? I Don't Transform Air Razor, even though I'm a Transformer, a Transformers film. No, I didn't like that one. There were some good elements in it, but ultimately, again, it's one of those movies where they introduce the baddies and they just kill all the baddies. And you're like, well, can I have a consistent villain, please, that I want to get to know and get to fear, and the characters fear? Like Megatron in all the movies, he's kind of a bit crap as well, isn't he? Actually, when you think about the Bay Universe movies, and arguably the best one, just as a purely you can sit down and watch it, is the Bumblebee movie. But that's not without its problems either. Again, they introduce a really cool character, not Starscream, Blitzwing, and they just take him out, kill him in 10 seconds. Same with Cliffjumper, kill him in 10 seconds. But why killing? Stop taking out and killing characters when you've just introduced them. Let us get to know them, please, and then you can actually feel some kind of agency. And again, like with bloody Transformers the movie, where, let's face it, we gave a damn about Optimus Prime because they killed him, and they killed these guys because we spent 2 or 3 years getting to know these characters, and then they just wiped them out. That's why we were upset about it. They killed Jazz off in Transformers 2007. I don't care about Jazz. They kill all the Decepticons except Starscream. I don't care about any of those characters because I didn't get to know them, especially in the first film. Second film, what's the second film? Is that the Fallen one? The End of the Fallen or something? Revenge of the Fallen? Again, that one. Again, they just kill the Fallen off. He's done. Only a Prime can kill a Prime. Again, I hate that thing. Well, I'm not a fan of the whole 13 Primes thing anyway. I actually don't like it. Initially, I did, and now I'm like, nah, I don't like this. I don't like this concept. I think it's a bit rubbish. Then what was it? Number 3. Oh Christ, I can't remember these films. What's number 3? Dark of the Moon. Again, Sentinel Prime. Didn't get to know you. Would have been interesting if we got to know you in other films. Backstory, or maybe we took your villain arc into another movie. No, you're dead. You're dead. You're gone. Megatron in that one, absolute cuck. What is Megatron in that film? What an absolute wuss and a wimp he is. Gets taken out within 15 seconds with his own gun. And then Transformers 4. Is that Dinobots 1? One with Fraser in it, but evil Fraser. Yeah, nice. It's a good set. It's a good set. Now, speaking of, like, you're making, now I've read your comment, like, subject change. Would you, because the one thing with the cassettes, right, especially Ravage, I'd argue there has never been a decent official Hasbro Takara Ravage since the original toy. They've all been a bit crap since then. They've all had to suffer because they're cassettes. Would you want them to do a Ravage Transformers cassette that is out of scale, like alt mode wise, but it still turns into cassette, but it's slightly bigger, so he transforms and he can fit better in sort of quote unquote robot mode next to the other Decepticons, and have all his gubbins and actually look like Ravage instead of little skinny black cat next to Soundwave? Would you want them to do that? I'm up for that. I would love it if they did that with Ravage, because he is probably the one that just looks so bad. Ever since the original release of Ravage, that original Ravage has never been topped in my humble opinion. The one that came with Hound, rubbish. Masterpiece 1, crap. And any of these Siege ones, teeny tiny little things that snap in your hand after 10 seconds, rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. The latest one is only okay. Same with the Steeljaw. He's okay. He's not a good toy. So that's why I say it's okay. So yeah, would you want a Ravage, a G1 Ravage, turns into a cassette, have him scaled up bigger? I don't know. I want to say deluxe size because they don't do core or basic size anymore. But I'd rather a proper, decent core size, let's say it, Ravage that transforms and looks like he does on the TV from the cartoon. But you have to sacrifice him not being able to fit into Soundwave. Or if they were to do a Ravage where he's sort of double the thickness, so you fold him down and he can fit If you argue, he can fit, let's say, inside a reissue of Soundwave called, I don't know, Sound Blaster with the extended tape deck. Would you want something like that, where so Ravage can actually be a half decent toy? Well, yeah, the missing link again. Release shenanigans. They know full well that a lot of people are going to get both versions. They're going to want, because people collect the cassettes. They're going to want the little droid thing, which does look pretty cool, and the first true version of Cybertronian mode Laserbeak. What a brilliant figure! What I want to say, I want that Laserbeak. I don't care about the little drone thing, but I want that Laserbeak, and I don't care about the Soundwave. I just want the Laserbeak. So we'll just wait for somebody to make a a knockoff version, and I'll get that one. But also on that, when it comes to Laserbeak, have you noticed that like Soundwave's base mode is his robot mode, and with most other Transformers it's a robot mode, but for some reason Laserbeak's base mode is his cassette, because when he lands on Earth, his robot mode changes, not his. He retains his alt mode. So why does that happen? Why does everybody else stay the same, but Laserbeak turns into a bird instead of what he should be? It's not as if he's using it as a disguise, right? Oh, look at that. It's a giant 10-foot condor made of metal with laser guns on his sides. That's it. Auto Scout. Yeah, Auto Scout. Little droid thing. That's a good episode, actually, isn't it, where that appears? Quite neat. One of the few little neat things they did with the Decepticons when it comes to the toys. So, yeah, the Apology Tour. Where are we? Tripredicus. Could it be Primus shenanigans? Like we've had the destruction of Unicron at the end of Transformers Energon. And they wrote it that his destruction creates a black hole. Could they be following the exact same type of storyline, where instead of Unicron just being a big robot with some kind of otherworldly powers that eats other planets, like now the modern Unicron has a lot more power stats to him. He can do more magical things and all that, teleport and live with outside the universes and stuff like that. So they've done a lot more since the Generation 1 Unicron. I think the comics did more originally from memory, but if you're talking original cartoon, just the movie, he's just a big robot that eats things that can torture Megatron from afar. Yeah, the pink Bumblebee. Oh dear. But even then he's robot mode. What the hell were they doing there? Yeah, some of the design choices in the Bay movies weren't good, were they? They were really bad. And there's just so much stuff in these Bay movies, and that they have these really annoying focus groups that watch the movies first, and they go, I think we need more humour in the movie. Yeah, we need more. It needs to be more funny. No, it doesn't. These stupid humorous moments which they keep putting in these movies, and don't get me started on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Don't get me started on it. I hated that movie. I hated it. Oh. But all these silly things, like how many times does Sam? He's like going no, and he's like, oh, is he doing something in his bedroom? Oh, like the mum and all that, and then you got the dogs humping things in the third one, and then you got Wheelie humping. It's like, what are you doing? It's not funny. It's not funny. I don't even, because the little kids might go hey a little bit because they don't really know what they're understanding, because they're only laughing because they don't really understand. They don't really get it. But it's just silly things like that in the movies which don't make the movie any good. It's a pointless bit that they just need to stop doing it. Stop doing it. It removes any agency from these movies where something happens and the music starts dun 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 dun, and then the person behind them slips on a banana peel, goes whoop 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 boing, and you're thinking, well, what was all that about? Why are you slipping on banana peels? You're meant to be fighting this giant tank dude or some planet-eating death goblin or something. Like, where the hell did that happen in these movies? Oh, I don't know. Very frustrating. I've got the cat in here now, bothering me. How you doing? I'll feed you in a minute. So, where am I? Yeah, Primus. His shenanigans. Could they be going down that route with primes and primuses and all that stuff? I don't love the idea of Primus. I'm old school. I don't love it. Back in the day, I was like, oh yeah, Cybertron transforms. Everything transforms. The grass transforms. No, not everything needs to be a transformer. It doesn't. Where are we? Or hello, yes, I'll feed you in a minute. It's way too early for food. Sorry about that. Our cat's bothering me now. Or are we going to get some kind of time reset with like the Unicron essence living outside of the universe, i.e., Transformers Kingdom, where he pulls Galvatron and the Nemesis Prime, deconstructs them, and goes, right, we'll start again. Could that be a segue? Could it be something like this? I don't mean this exact scene, which was a bloody brilliant scene. Probably the best damn scene and story arc of that whole trilogy. Because let's face it, that trilogy wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was okay. It was only okay. But this whole Nemesis Prime, Galvatron, that really engaged me in that series. And it was, what a percent of the series? Very poor, but there we go. Could it be something like this, where Unicron pulls back the Galvatron who's been defeated and his minions? And does he... Oh, no, I put this page in the wrong place. Or could it be something like the Unspace scene in Cyberverse, where all realities converge at once, and then the timelines start changing? Do you really want a HasLab Primus? A giant ball that doesn't do a lot? I know it will go with the Unicron. I had the Unicron, and I've sold the Unicron. It's just too big. It was just too big, and it just took up like all of the display. And I loved it, but I'm not sad to see it gone. But Primus, I don't know. Like one of the original ideas for the Unicron was, I think it was Emiliano Santaluca designed it so you'd have like a battle fortress mode on it. No, scrapped it. He doesn't have one of those originally, so it made him. I don't know. The Unicron was a bit boring. It was a bit boring. He was boring. They could have done so much more with the Unicron, instead of then adding the stupid little stub figures. What was that about? Oh, it's got to be in scale. But they don't do anything. They literally just could be lost. And that's it. You no longer have them. And the ship that they had him come with, the Autobot shuttle, the only ship in the entire movie which Unicron does not interact with. They should have given you all the ships, not making you have to buy the reformatting Galvatron to get them. And they should have gone back to the whole Micro Machines guys, because they own Micro Machines, and gone, right, we need to make really good Autobot ships and Quintesson ships and Junkion ships. And they didn't. They made us crap. They made us absolute crap. No, I would have preferred that whole Galvatron add-on pack should have been with the Unicron. Full-scale Galvatron, none of this silly little stub figure nonsense. The thing costs an arm and a leg. Okay, so this is what I was meant to segue from when Unicron in Kingdom dismantles both Nemesis Prime and Galvatron. Now, following the defeat of Unicron, will Galvatron, Scourge, and Cyclonus and the Sweeps be deformatted back into their original modes, thus bringing those characters back? Now, you're probably going, oh, whoa. That hasn't happened in Transformers before. Yes, it has, but we didn't see it on screen. In the Titans Return series, part of the Combiner Wars trilogy, they say that in that Megatron was once Galvatron, and we've never shown how that happened. How and why. We just know that version of Megatron in that series was once Galvatron. Oh my God. Spoilers! Was once Galvatron. So, is that one angle they want to deal with going along? Or will they make them split the characters? Unicron takes his assets and leaves the rubbish. It's possible. I would prefer if they did. Yeah, that's right. Skybound are doing a series. That's right. And if I'm honest, don't get me wrong, I love the Invincible series, but I do not like the Skybound comic. I do not like it. It's a direction of Transformers I don't want to know about. I've read up to what issue 20, 24, such. I'm done with this. I am done with this. I'm sick of Transformers being like that. I don't want that. That's not Transformers to me. It's not. It's just not. I'm not interested. Bring back the Dreamwave stuff. Bring me back. I want issue 40 in the Dreamwave. Or was it 15? Oh dear, those are the days. What a great issue it ended on, but didn't really end. The whole Bruticus fighting Predaking issue. Oh, so good. Such a good setup, and we got nothing afterwards. Are you looking forward to Skybound, Bill? What do you want? Do you want to see the Skybound thing come around again? I'll give it a go. I'll watch it. But if it's basically retelling the comic book, I'm done. I do not want an Autobot Thundercracker. Like, that whole original bio is absolutely diamond, and it's brilliant. Yeah? Thundercracker questions the Decepticon cause. Not Thundercracker is a traitor and will leave the Decepticon cause. Just that he questions it. Not, I'm going to be an Autobot and then I'll set all randomly. I'm now a part of a combiner and now I'm a part of Superion. Again, stop killing fudging Slingshot. Stop it. He's one of the only few UK built machines in the Transformers. Another tick there for the GoBots. That is in the Transformers as a Harrier jump jet, and they kill him. They always kill him every single time. Yeah, I'm intrigued too. But if it's just a retelling of that comic, not for me, mate. Not for me. Don't want to know. If they did the continuation of the Dreamwave stuff, oh baby, not the Simon Furman continuation. The two dudes that were doing it originally, not the Simon. I've read the Simon Furman stuff. Don't want to know. Now, I love Simon Furman. In fact, he's a lovely guy. I've had him sign a few bits and bobs. Lovely guy, always willing to sign something. But when it came to his continuation of the Dreamwave stuff, no, not for me. Not for me. So yeah, Galvatron being reverted back into Megatron. So we don't lose Megatron. And we can always get Galvatron again, you see. Or if they split them. Because let's face it, Unicron can probably create anybody to make Scourge, to make Cyclonus. Whereas Galvatron, at least in the Generation 1 cartoon continuity, is derived from Megatron. But the others, they don't have to be these other characters. Now, for me, I don't want to lose my Insecticons, and I don't want to lose Skywarp and Thundercracker. Skywarp was my first Transformer. I don't want to lose him. That's purely selfish. So, and then we've got the convergence idea, which I was meant to put this picture just before this, where all realities come to one. Now, are they going to want to take other elements from the older scripts from Transformers? Again, like the characters that appeared in that. Again, we know that Mentlar became Perceptor, Tanker became Cup, Rails was removed completely in his concept and idea. I think it just was the Autobots, the Dinobots that fought Devastator. But yeah, I think Rails is only seen as he just takes out a load of Decepticons. But as we all know, no Decepticons died in the movie anyway. And Kimiko is kind of just Smokescreen, really. And according to the storyboards, it's Smokescreen that dies, not Wheeljack. And again, that's one thing I will bring up, is the whole Wheeljack scene in the old scripts of Transformers, a movie. Transformers, a movie. I think this is the right one. Now, I'll get this up and I'll put it. This is our Jim Sorensen's page. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm on the wrong page. Sorry. Oh no, this is the script outlines. That's interesting, but it's not got the bits I want. I'll try and find it quickly. Bot Talk. What's his Disciples of Boltax. There we go. Hopefully it's the right one. We'll let that load. So yeah, and then Scrappo. I actually put Scrappo through the old AI because they didn't actually do a picture of Scrappo in the thing that they did at TF Nation 3 years ago. So that's my. I put the picture of Wheelie through the AI and said, "Turn him into a junkion," and that's what they did. So that's what I'm sticking with. Like, could they be bringing these characters into it in some form at the end of the movie? Will they go back to Earth in this end credit scene? Well, I would actually like to see that for one reason. And then from there, oh, hello. Again, another version of the script had a character called Dragon Beast. Again, this picture at the top is from Flo Derry. The colours aren't. I put the colours through AI, and the pictures at the bottom I put through AI. So these are not in any way, shape or form any form of official or unofficial pictures of Simba, Pardo, Shriek, Thump and Clump. But this picture of Dragon Beast, or Mecha Beast as he's sometimes known, is in fact something, again, a depiction of what the heroic versions of the Predacons would have been. Ugh. I do not like the fact they keep turning every single Decepticon model into an Autobot. I don't like that. No, there hasn't been any word on Fortress Maximus, has there? He was. Yeah, I remember that leak, and they didn't deny that leak either. Again, I wouldn't mind a scaled down Fortress Maximus. I wouldn't mind a scaled down G1 Scorponok. Again, like the old comics, and I wouldn't mind a scaled down Trypticon and who's the other dude? The other one, Metroplex. Because like I said, I had all the Titans, and they took up all the space. Because I've only got a teeny tiny room to put this stuff in. You know, the old rolling pin comes out otherwise. So yeah, I sold them off. I just I was done with it. Yeah, yeah. So no, they might say he might be an Armada Meg's heavy retool. Unsure. That'd be interesting. I suppose the tank treads thing makes sense. But is he not a bit small, the Armada Megatron from Legacy? But again, like they do these things right. They just stick a different head on him and go, "Oh yeah, that's a different character." I would have loved someone to do a version of the original script as a movie. Maybe even AI done movie. Yeah, possible. I actually didn't like that version of the script. I like the version with Dragon Beast. Because the version of Dragon Beast, which I'm trying to find now, and is it loading? Oh yes, it is. This is it. It's got the whole scenes with Blaster running an Autobot resistance. Because when in the movie they go back to Earth, Cyclonus and that lot, and the ships take off. Basically, what happens then, because you don't really see much of Cyclonus after that point, I don't think, at least I don't remember. They, I know he does. He's on Junkion, isn't he? He lands with Galvatron. But basically, Scourge leaves his sweeps down, and Cyclonus leaves his Armada down because there's meant to be more of them. And it's Blaster leading Autobot resistance and having to fight sort of a guerrilla warfare against this new threat of Transformers. So I much prefer the second draft of Transformers movie. I didn't like the first one. I didn't like that. Although I do like the look of Rails. He looks pretty damn badass character. And then also in draft 2 of the script, I think they're also in draft 1. You've got the other Transformers the movie characters. Cubby, who does, to be fair, become Steeljaw. Stripes, who is now canonized as a full-blown character. But the original design, I don't know whether I'd found these online. And apparently this is what Stripes was meant to be. Stripes was meant to be a Smilodon, aka a saber-toothed tiger. Now, obviously Stripes is canonized. Steeljaw is canonized. So could we have Cubby as a whole new character being that missing Smilodon character? I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's a good idea. Because Soundwave gets 2 prehistoric creatures with Overkill and Slugfest. Give Blaster one as well. And then we've got Bolts. Again, Bolts could just be and he became Eject and Rewind, but he could just be another coloured version of an Eject Rewind mould. There's no harm in that. I'm not afraid of them doing that. Another character. And Stinger. Again, very interesting. A heroic Scorpion character. We don't see that very often. Scorpions are all villainous characters, but yeah. No, Stinger, apparently, or Sting, I think sometimes his name is to be maybe they might make an appearance in this scene. We don't know. Like this whole end credit scene could be another 10 minutes. Could be. Yeah. See, the problem I have with, like, even with Transformers the movie in general, anyway, is that there was only ever about like 15 Decepticons, and then you got Perceptor running to them, going, "Oh, the Decepticons, like the probability, blah 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 blah, and all this stuff," and you're thinking, "Hold the bloody phone, hold the phone." You've got an entire city covered with guns, filled with soldiers, and you can't take out 15 Decepticons. Not even one Decepticon gets taken out. So-called City Commander Ultra Magnus, eh? Yeah, you know what? I love the whole idea of Delta Magnus, and I think Delta Magnus can exist in a film. Like, if you've seen a silly video I put on my channel, I actually reintegrated the footage from the Japanese trailer back into the film. Now, I've had to heavily bastardize that particular video because Hasbro struck it. It was up for 3 years, and Hasbro struck it. They struck it to a point where 78% of the people that could have watched it can't watch it anymore. Well, it basically made it a completely pointless movie. I think if you lived in Uzbekistan, you could watch it, but anywhere else in the world, you couldn't. You could not watch that video that I put together. That was just a bit of fun. Yeah, fair enough. It's using Transformers and movie footage, whatever. But there are so many other channels out there that do it, and they're probably monetized as well. But no, I put that footage back in there because I said at the beginning of the live stream that apparently that footage from that Japanese trailer does still exist, as well as other footage. Now, a company, I believe it's like I said at the beginning of the stream, a company, Metrodome, went out to try and locate and find this missing footage. So it exists, but it's owned by a third party. Not Hasbro, not Takara, not Sony, not the studio. Yeah, I don't know. A gun turret's a gun turret, right? If you want to say it's slammer, I'm not gonna poo-poo your idea, mate. I'm not gonna poo-poo your idea, but a gun turret's a gun turret. It's a cuboid with a gun on it. That's what slammer was originally. But yeah, if you want it to be slammer, it's slammer. It's slammer. But isn't it Metroplex? Isn't he just a part of Autobot City? Let's try and find that. He's not the entire Autobot City. At least according to the Japanese continuity. Let's try and find the picture. Yeah, there it is. I'll get it up. I'll put it up on screen. Come on, load. So I've slowed everything down. Doing these live streams slow so much down. Right, hopefully I've got the right thing. Remember this? So yeah, Metroplex is a part of Autobot City only, not the whole thing. That's just interesting. It's interesting. According to Japanese continuity, anyway. According to Japanese continuity, there he is, Metroplex, sat on the outside of Autobot City. So Autobot City is freaking huge and covered in guns, full of soldiers, and not one single Decepticon gets killed. There we go. No Insecticon clones are seen, so none of that shenanigans. Yeah, in the comics, yeah, that's right. In the comics, Metroplex tore out of... Yeah. Actually, not a bad bit of artwork there. Pretty decent artwork for its time. Ice cream van. So let me get this Disciples... Yeah, here we go. I don't know if you've seen this before. The scenes with Blaster in Transformers the movie. This is the Autobot Resistance part on Earth. Now, if this is the end scene, Blaster's resistance on Earth. Oh, baby, how good. But it won't quite work with the characters they use here. Gears, yeah, fine, he works. He gets killed. And then Windcharger is in these scenes as well. But we know from the finished film, Windcharger is dead. Already dead. But there's one other cool thing. And then later on, because in this second draft of the script, they keep going back to Earth. where they're fighting off the Cyclonus clones and the Scourge sweeps. And then Sunstreaker, he's with Blaster at that point as well. And then later on, Wheeljack comes back. So this is why people say Wheeljack doesn't die. People like to say, though, this scene here happens, which is why Wheeljack then appears in Transformers Master Force. Like, he's just out for the count. He's just not, he's not done. He's not done and dusted. But in this scene, their point of view, shadowy trees inside of trees, like night's darkest field, toward camera in most fields, mess them up. Another angle showing the mystery vehicle to be Wheeljack as it transforms into human mode. Blaster, Sunstreaker, and other Autobots react happily. Wheeljack, he's still functioning. So yeah, basically Wheeljack, he's not dead. He comes back. He comes back in this, from this second part of the script. So when you watch the movie, Transformers the movie, do you not think you watch it and you're like, that doesn't make sense? That animation changed a bit there. It's a bit clippy. It's a bit choppy. I generally think that things were maybe not necessarily animated, but they were definitely on the final stages of being animated. Because there is recorded dialogue with Gears, and there is recorded dialogue with Dirge, there is recorded dialogue with Inferno. It's all on TF Wiki. The lines are on there. So it's very interesting. So there's so much more to this movie we have not seen, they have not released. So whoever this company is, or this person is that has this missing footage, has the missing audio, who are you, and why are you being a dick? Well, let's not start that can of worms. Let's not start. Oh, I love you, mate, but let's not start a can of worms because we all know it's Bombshell. I don't know. What's your take on it? Like, why not? Go on. Let's go. It's just you and me chatting here. What's your take on it? Who is it? Who is he? Who is Cyclonus? Drum roll. Bill Dash K3S4U. Who is Cyclonus? Is he a helicopter from Armada? Speaking of season 3. No, we don't. Well, I think there's a Dirge-coloured Cyclonus at one point in season 3, but then again, season 3, you've got Huffer and Brawn next to each other, next to Decepticons fighting, fighting Broadside or something. So yeah. Oh well, season 3, yeah. Some great episodes in season 3, but some also not good ones. Yeah, I don't know. That can of worms, yeah. Well, I'll say it here and now. Rumble's blue and Friends is red. I'm not red and black or whatever if you want to be like that, but yeah, no. I don't know. Okay, this is another video. We're not going this far yet. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on what possibilities we could get from this end credit scene. It could be a massive nothing burger. Could be absolutely nothing. It could literally just be, like Bill said, a segue into Dark Awakening. Very boring. Quintessons, very boring. And that's it. But I personally would like to see more from it. I don't want them to dilute the original Transformers by doing a new third season, which is all modern Hollywood and modern takes on things. Now, I'll leave it at that, but if you know what I mean when I say that. I don't want Transformers to be degraded even more. It's a toy company. Oh, I don't know. And I don't want, especially the movie, to be tarnished with this new end scene. But then again, you don't have to buy the new. But then again, I suppose when the film gets reissued every time after that, it will have this new end scene. So you'd have to, if you want to have the original movie without an end scene, if it is a bag load of rubbish, this new end scene, and you don't ever want to be anywhere near it because of what came after it, because what might come after it might be really bad. It could be really, really bad. Or it could be fantastic. It could be the damn best thing we've seen since the original Transformers, right? Like with so I think of Star Wars. with George Lucas's constant tampering before he decided to sell it off because he just couldn't leave well alone. The only version of Star Wars now you can get Blu-ray is when they added the stupid no at the end of Return of the Jedi when Darth Vader takes the Emperor and throws him and kills him. Kills him. There is no 7, 8, 9. There's no 1, 2, 3 either in my book, but there we go. Absolute crap. The silence in the original version of that scene is beautiful. It's beautiful because although his mask is unmoving and there is no features or emotions, but I feel it with the music. He's looking back and forth at the Emperor killing his son, and he just grabs him, boom, throws him. Fantastic. None of this stupid no rubbish. What a rubbish. What a load of rubbish. Well, this is yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. Cyclonus, yeah. Is he one of the Seekers? Is he Bombshell? According to the movie, he's both. He's both. So, yeah. Because who is the Andamada? The Andamada is from, again, so many inconsistencies with Transformers. Again, don't get me wrong. There it is in my hand right now. I love Transformers movie. But it's not without its problems. It's not without a bagload of errors and problems within the movie. Again, like you said, the Cyclonus thing, it's probably the biggest cock up in the movie. Let's face it. You can put up with Snarl randomly being there, then not being there, but the Cyclonus thing, it was a big bloody mistake. Let's face it. I personally don't like the fact that they turned old characters into new characters. I would have preferred they were just created from the dead bodies and souls or whatever of Lithon at the beginning of the film. They're just created from those parts and just have killed. Because in the second draft of the script, with, funny enough, I've left him on the screen, with Dragon Beast, Blue Streak chops Thundercracker in half. In that version of the script. And Skull, nothing happens to him and nothing happens to the Insecticons. And Reflector is not even in the script. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the new scene will be on YouTube. And even if it's taken down quickly by Hasbro early on, it will come back. It will come back. It will come back. People will talk about it on live streams. I'll probably do the same myself. Yeah. Dead Optimus Prime. He sells, right? RoboSyn. That's another $2,000. Oh dear. Are they doing both size versions, or are they just sticking to the one scale now? Because isn't there two versions of it, where one's like ridiculously gigantic and there's another one which is a bit smaller? So I was keeping an eye on the stream strength. It's sort of struggling a little bit. Yeah, they wheeled out Peter Cullen to do some more lines. I was lucky enough to meet him, but it was at a convention in Liverpool in England. Literally the weekend before the COVID shutdown, so they weren't wanting to shake anybody's hands there. But I felt he was a bit offish personally. I felt Peter Cullen was a bit offish with people taking photos and stuff. I get it. He's got to be there. He was in his late 70s at that point. Now in his 80s, he's got to stand around with predominantly smelly nerds. I'm not one of the smelly ones. I know what a shower is. Oh, they are doing two versions. Okay, fair enough. I don't care. A self-transforming transformer, doesn't that defeat the object, right? I want to do it myself. But yeah, during that event, I felt Peter Cullen was a bit offish. Maybe he was concerned about the whole cold, which is fair, being older and whatnot. But Frank Welker, for somebody that suffers from anxiety when it comes to people, what do they call it? Social anxiety, which is why he didn't do a lot of conventions and stuff early on. And now he's sort of doing it now. I think maybe he's had a bit of help with that. But he was really open, really, really friendly. Oh, hi, and because I met him a few years before, and he recognised me, and he goes, "You're the GoBots guy." Because when I first met him, I was wearing a GoBots t-shirt because he's Scooter. But he was great. Peter Cullen, I don't know. But like I said, he was probably down because of the whole cold going on at the time, and he's older, right? He's older, so the poor guy was worried. Poor guy was probably worried, and he's having to deal with smelly people. Because I'll tell you right now, there were some smelly people there. One downside of being into these things. Well, that is my possibilities for Transformers the movie's new end credit scene. Will it be a nothing burger, or will it be something that is pretty damn bold for Hasbro and Takara to do and makes us fans go, wow, didn't expect that, did not expect that. In truth, I'm expecting what you said, Bill, at the beginning, an absolute nothing burger, a BS segue scene to something that we already have the answer to. Again, I don't need to know if a Quintesson reactivates Optimus Prime, because I already know a Quintesson reactivates Optimus Prime, because I watched season 3, which is readily available on YouTube and on DVDs and Blu-rays and all that kind of stuff. Or will it be something completely left of field and make everybody go, oh, did not expect that. Anyway, I'll let you guys discuss in the comments after the stream has gone on. Here's a question. Here's a question. Would you have liked a live-action GoBots movie? Yes. Yes, I'm a big fan of the GoBots. Massive fan of the GoBots. And again, I'll go on a little rant now. A lot of stuff in modern Transformers has been taken from the GoBots. The whole Megatron, Optimus Prime knowing each other before the war and being old war buddies or just being buddies thing, like they did in Transformers Prime, like they did in Transformers Cyberverse, like they kind of alluded to in the Transformers Bay Universe movies. That was Leader 1 and Psykill's backstory. They were heroes together, friends, allies, comrades, however you want to put it, before they fell out and Psykill took leadership of the Renegades. So yeah, and there's a good few other things as well that the modern storytelling of Transformers has taken from the GoBots. Somebody might go, oh well, there was a Ladybird book where Megatron said this. No, don't give me that rubbish. Most people don't even know about that and have never even seen that. I don't think it was actually Ladybird book. I think it's like one line in like a storybook or a colouring book. But they did a full-blown episode in the GoBots. That was 1984 and probably done before this whole storybook thing. So don't give me that BS. So the Transformers took that from the GoBots. And it's just a shame that the GoBots in general, they are locked away under lock and key. Hasbro bought them, done nothing. Well, again, we've never gotten the full story as to who actually has the full rights to the GoBots. Hasbro own what Tonka produced, so that does include some character names, but then again, that doesn't mean anything because things can be re-trademarked anyway. And then there's the issue with Bandai owning the original molds to the toys. That's true. The GoBots tend to have been closer to their transformations in the show and the toy. Well, basically like for like. None of this, I'm randomly this and I'm randomly that, where the Transformers didn't do that. But to be fair, the Transformers, they by cheating with the transformations on the show, it made it a better show. Likewise, Puzzler. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they had the Puzzler. They had the what are they called? The Power Warriors, which weren't independent thought. They were sort of drones, which is a shame. And even then, Puzzler himself, he was just a bunch of drones in the one episode that he's in. And then expanded universe GoBots. So when it was branded as Machine Wars, Machine Men, Robo Machine. Again, the marketing for the GoBots was absolutely dreadful. 4 different names across 4 different continents. In Australia, I think it was Machine Men. In the UK, it was I think it was Robo Machine, and in Japan side of the world, it was Machine Robo. Yeah, I think it was Robo Machine, or was it Machine? Or was it France that is Robo Machine, and we had Machine Robo, and we also had it as GoBots. Like I've got an annual, one of the 2 annuals that they released for the GoBots, and on the annual it's Challenge of the GoBots, featuring Machine Robo or something like that. And you're thinking, what a mess! What an absolute mess of branding and of marketing. And no wonder Hasbro swooped in there with their precise marketing campaign. Transformers, robots in disguise, they are more than meets the eye. Well, you can't argue with that, can you? Whereas the GoBots, are they the machine men? Are they the robo machines? Are they the machine robos? We don't know. We don't know. Yeah. Well, I've actually, funny, I forgot, this noise here. This is Cycle right in front of me, the super con version. I would love to see the GoBots redone, rebranded, but I do not want them within the Transformers universe. I do not want Cycle as an underling to Megatron, Galvatron, Black Zarak, Death Saurus, and any other Decepticon leaders that they have. Not an underling. He is the leader of his very own faction on a very different planet of Gobotron. So no, I don't want the GoBots in the same universe as the Transformers. 100% no. The toy lines were extremely similar, but the backstories are slightly different. They are slightly different, and I find myself drawn towards the GoBots backstory. Yes, the cartoon was a bit more campier than the Transformers, but again, they weren't without some of their campier episodes themselves. But definitely, there's a lot of few firsts that the GoBots did in regards to female characters on screen. Like the Transformers didn't do that until A, the movie, or B, the Alpha Trion episode with the Elita 1 and that lot. Oh, the GoBots. You can buy it, or at least you could buy it. Now Warner Brothers has been chopped up, resold, rebought, this and that. You used to be able to buy it through Amazon via the Warner Brothers archive, and basically they were made to order. Same with the Centurions. So you could get the entire series on DVD, but you had to order it. You couldn't just buy it off the shelf. I think the miniseries you could for a while. Same with the Centurions, but if you wanted the full season, you had to buy through Warner Brothers archive, which I did, and I'm glad I did. Because, like I said, I love the GoBots. The website doesn't exist anymore, where they took the episodes of the GoBots and put it into some form of continuity. Made it a fantastic series to watch. Yes, there are some issues, there are some problems. It is not perfect, but they made it good. They made it good. Yes, right. Yeah, it's probably somewhere online, some nefarious websites, you might say. Right, Bill. I'm happy to do another live stream again. You and me, buddy. You and me. We've kept it going. We've kept the conversation going. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I think you've been my only concurrent viewer. There's been a few people dropping in and out, so thank you. Really big thank you for that. Possibilities, the end credit scene for Transformers. Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I don't want it to be crap. I don't want it to be crap. Well, Dr. Octopus Transformers are basically like the last Renegades. Or was it the final Renegade? What's he called? I think he's called... No, he's called the... Oh. crumbs. What is he called? Sorry, I've got like 5 minutes because I've got to pick up the missus from work. So I will have to love you and leave you, but I will find that name because that's going to bother me. Master Renegade. He was called the Master Renegade. The good guy version was called the Last Engineer. So the Master Renegade and the Last Engineer. Yeah, Dr. Arkeville. Again, a character that just disappears from season 1. That's it. He's gone. I guess you can only assume he can't move and he just sort of starves to death because Starscream's like, yeah, I'm fed up. I'm bored with him now. Who knows? Right, Bill. Thank you very much for being consistent on the live stream. Most appreciated. Again, it's my first one like this, so yeah, Last Engineer, that's right, and the Master Renegade. But yeah, no, that's grand. Thank you very much for being on the stream, and thank you anybody else that will watch this afterwards. And I'll keep the chat up. I think I know how to do that. And I will love you and leave you. And don't forget to love, like, subscribe. And I'll see you guys and girls in the next one. And the next live stream will be Transformers Call to the Future. So thank you very much, Bill.